Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I switched it up a little bit, got the natural puff going, okay. But so today's video is going to be about life at a PWI, being that I do attend a PWI and I'm in my senior year at a predominantly white institution. So I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, my experience going to a PWI, all of that good stuff. So let's get into the video. Okay, so I attend Missouri Western State University. It is in St. Joseph, Missouri. St. Joseph is about 4.5 to 5 hours away from St. Louis, which is where I'm from. It's not where I wanted to go. It wasn't even in my choices. It was just a school that I applied to. It was probably at the bottom of my list, honestly. So first I'm going to talk about how I ended up here. Okay, so my senior year of high school, I knew I wanted to go to a HBCU all the way. So I toured Tennessee State. I didn't really like the community bathroom aspect. That was a big thing for me. I toured Alabama A&M University, which is in Huntsville, Alabama. Fell in love with the campus as a whole. The people, it was just a really good, experience. So I'm like, this is where I'm going to school. So I applied, got accepted. So June, they had SOAR. I forgot what it's, student orientation and something, I don't know. But so I went to the June session of that, and I'm just like, this is really where I belong. Like, I really want to, go to this school. So everything was cool. So I would say July. So July was like the end of July, and I was supposed to move in on August 1st, 2015. I remember this. So I want to say it was like the middle end of July, and they, I think that my financial aid, it wasn't like covering everything. So I still owed like $6,000. I would owe $6,000 per semester after financial aid and all of that good stuff. So it was the middle of June, and I just had this breakdown because I really wanted to go to this school. I had started making friends. You know how they have like a freshman group me or whatever, all of that. So I would say, like I said, middle of July, it didn't pan out. So now I'm thinking plan B. So I'm like, I'm never going to be able to go to college. Like, I'm going to have to go to a community college, blah, blah, blah. And I knew that that's not something that I wanted to do. Not knocking anybody who goes to a community college, because I feel like certain aspects of it is really smart, like, to do. But no, I just knew that it wasn't for me. I knew I wanted the university experience. So now I'm like, okay, what do I do? So Missouri Western, I had cousins that went here. So I'm asking them about the campus, like how it is. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay in Missouri for a year, and then I'm going to go to Alabama A&M my sophomore year, I think. So from the so I think move-in for Missouri Western was like August 28th or something like that, or like August 20 something, because I know that as a freshman we had to move in a week early. So I think classes started like the 28th, I don't know. But so I'm talking to my cousin, like, okay, well, since I know people that are here, I'm just gonna go to this school and transfer my sophomore year. So I went and toured the school. It was all right. We went to the dorms, and the one thing that stuck out to me about Missouri Western, I will say, is the fact that there were no community bathrooms. That's something that I just was not interested in. I don't like sharing spaces like that. Like, I don't like the vibe of 15, 30, 45 girls sharing one bathroom area. So at Missouri Western, you'll never share a restroom with more than 3 people. So my freshman year, I got really lucky because I shared a bathroom with 1 person. So it was great. So we toured the school. It was cool. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. So we got my classes squared away, got my financial aid squared away, all of that good stuff. So move-in comes around. So we moved in like the end of August, and it was different. So freshmen do the Griffin Edge program. Griffin Edge is basically like a 3-day program where we tour the school, get to know other freshmen. We move in early, so it's only freshmen on campus along with the leaders who lead us around Griffin Edge or whatever. So that was different. I think it was different for me coming from St. Louis. It's such a big city. I mean, it's not like super big, but way bigger than St. Joe, I'll tell you that. So I get to St. Joe. Everything is on one street. So we have this street called the Belt. Everything is on the Belt, literally. Like, I mean, there are other parts, but the main parts of St. Joe are on the Belt. So you have South Belt, Mid Belt, North Belt. So it was different for sure. Being that it's a predominantly white institution, I wasn't used to being around so many people that didn't look like me. It was definitely a culture shock, I will say. But I mean, it was okay. So the Griffin Edge group that I was in, so at this time they did the groups by major. So I was in a group with the psychology majors because that's the major that I was interested in. So it was not many black, I think it may have been like 3 or 4 black people. And fun fact, I met my closest friends in Griffin Edge, so shout out to them. But so it was me, I think the group, it was probably 25, 30, 45 people in one group. So we toured the school, we did community service, we did a lot of stuff. So I think that the hardest thing for me to adjust to was, like I said, being around so many people that didn't look like me. It was a lot of it was just really different. So that definitely took some getting used to. So my freshman year, you know, I stayed within my group of friends. I think the hardest thing was going to class. Like, I think my first day of class, I had an 8 a.m. and literally at the most 2 people in my class, like 2 people that are not white in my class. And that was different for me because coming from high school, I'm not saying that my high school was majority black people, but there were way more black people. Like, it's to be in a classroom and you know that you're looked at just because you don't look like everybody else. So I think that was the biggest thing that I had to adjust to first. So now I'm just gonna kind of talk about, because this is my 5th year at Missouri Western, so I'm kind of gonna talk about like my experience as far as just being here throughout my years, what I've experienced and things like that. So how I ended up staying in Missouri Western. I never wanted to go to a PWI. That's not something that I was ever interested in. So I ended up staying here because I started hanging out with a lot of black people who were very ambitious. They had goals, they had things that they wanted to do, that were heavily involved on campus. They were upperclassmen, so I really looked up to them. So all of the stuff that they were doing, I'm just like, okay, you know, this school may not be that bad. So I will say, so by the end of my freshman year, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here, like whatever. So I knew everything that I wanted to be involved in. So, and I knew that I wanted to be involved with these things so that I can kind of start seeing a change in, you know, campus, start seeing things from different perspectives. So as time progressed, so my sophomore year is when I started my process of becoming heavily involved. So the first thing that I did, I became the secretary of Black Student Union. I became a Griffin Edge leader. My Griffin Edge leader was black, and I just really, I learned so much from her. We were in the same major, of course. So I think that the biggest thing for me was just being able to relate to people who look like me, because more than likely, and that's exactly how it was, most people in my group were not African American, so, or any other race besides white. So I knew that I wanted to give people that kind of like that outlet, so they can know that like there are other races on this campus that are doing big things. Because I mean, you come to this school, you see all of these white fraternities and sororities, you see all these white organizations, and it's just like, where do I fit in this? Because we're outnumbered, like, all the way. So I was a student ambassador, I was a Griffin Edge leader, I did and I was the secretary of Black Student Union. That's kind of where my involvement started, and I knew that if I did something on this campus, I was going to have, that was the only way I was going to enjoy my time here. So being a Griffin Edge leader, being a student ambassador, it was okay.
Bitch, are you recording?
Oops. Whooper. Sorry, y'all. My friend walked in. My roomie, my sister, you know. Okay, so when I started to become involved on campus, I knew that this campus needed a change, for one. So I'm like, what can I do? Like, what can I do, just as little old Mel, to kind of, you know, start to shift the way that this campus operates? So I knew that I needed to elevate in the positions that I was in. So with Griffin Edge, it was okay. You know, I had a Griffin Edge group. It was, actually, I was a Griffin Edge leader for 2 years, and then the 3rd year. So and then being a student ambassador, it was okay. I mean, a majority of the people that I gave tours to were Caucasian, but it was always just, it felt good to when people of other races were, you know, here on campus, especially African Americans, because at the end of the day, we are a minority and people don't really care about us that much. So I'm like, what can I do? So I guess I would say that as my time being involved on campus like elevated, that's what made me like this school. And I'm not gonna say I love it, because there are a lot of things that need to be worked out and all of that good stuff, but I will say that with as far as like just being at a PWI, the pros, I would say, they definitely include building character. It takes a lot of courage. It just takes a lot, period, to, like I said, go into a classroom and it's 2 people that look like you and everybody else looks like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely a culture shock. Being in this small town where everything is all in one place, everybody looks the same, it's definitely different. I would say, as I, you know, in positions where I'm the president of Black organizations, you know, involved in other Black organizations, I think that also puts a light on you. So after I was the secretary of Black Student Union, I was the president of Black Student Union for 2 years. If I ain't never learned nothing about being at a PWI, that was the time when I really saw that, okay, like, y'all really like be on Black people. Like, so I mean, there were a lot of instances where people tried to be inclusive, I guess you could say, but it doesn't feel genuine. So it builds character, you know, being able to go through those stages where you are the only person who it's just being a minority in a majority situation, I guess you can say, if that makes sense. Black people are just kind of looked down on sometimes, and there are a lot of instances of things that happen on this campus where me being a Black leader, I had to step up. Like, my voice had to be heard. So the biggest thing for me was being able to be that voice for the people who don't really have a voice. I had to use my platform to ensure that people were able to, you know, speak their mind about different things that are going on campus. So I think that becoming a Black leader on campus is what made my experience and my time at Missouri Western, or a PWI, a great experience. I learned so much, just about myself, about Black people. I learned a lot about white people. So I think that life at a PWI teaches you, one, patience, because there are a lot of things that, you know, people can say and you don't like, they don't think they're being offensive, but it's just like instead of me like beating you up, cussing you out, how about I just educate you? It definitely teaches you patience. It teaches you how to, I guess, go for what you believe in, I'd say, because a majority of the different organizations and all of that are white organizations. So it teaches you to take pride in those, you know, those Black organizations, and just being a Black leader on campus. I made really good connections with the Black faculty on campus as well. So for Black Student Union in specific, our advisor was, well, she is Black, and when I tell y'all, that's the mama of all the Black people on campus. Like, you go to her office, you go in. I didn't sat in her office and cried. I didn't sat in her office and vented. I didn't sat in her office and cussed everybody out. Like, I definitely found connections with the Black faculty. And being that there aren't many Black faculty on this campus, and that's another thing about PWI life that really, you know, was different, because your professors don't relate to you. They don't understand you. They don't get it. So when you're in a situation where your professor is only relating to the people who look like them, now you are forced to just be there. Like, I'm here for a grade, but you don't really know me. You don't care to know me. You don't care to relate to me or my story. So I think that's another hard thing about attending a PWI. I haven't had one Black professor since I've been in college, and I've been here 5 years. I've never had a Black professor, and that's alarming to me because of the diversity that this institution portrays or tries to portray. There's not much diversity. I mean, at the end of the day, there's 5,000 kids on this campus, 6,000, somewhere around there. There are 900 people that attend this institution that are not white. 900 out of 6,000. It might be like 950, something like that. But there are not many people that attend this university that aren't white. So if you are somebody who wants to attend a PWI, or you have no choice but to attend a PWI, I would say try to build some type of rapport before you get to school. It's hard. It is definitely hard. I'm not saying that it's all bad, because I've met some amazing people. I've gotten some amazing opportunities. The networking is amazing, because there are people on this campus who genuinely care about minorities. I will say that, but there are not as many as I would like there to be. And I would just say, get involved, make yourself known, because at the end of the day, you don't want to just be another Black person on the campus. I mean, I know that might sound bad, but that's the truth. Like, get involved, do things, talk to the people in the white organizations. That's very beneficial as well. No matter what, they kind of rule the campus. You're just kind of there. But when you make those connections and people see y'all collabing or whatever the case may be, that looks great. Try to understand white people. I will say, like, I am not always receptive to understanding, but I definitely would say try to step outside of the box. But that's just my experience at a predominantly white institution. It has not been all good, but it has not been all bad either. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. I've seen, us be blamed for different protests and things that had nothing to do with us, especially me being president of Black Student Union. We always get the rap for everything because we are the voice of the Black people. So I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's just something that builds character. It builds resiliency, and it makes you an overall better person, because you get those experiences for when you get out into the real world and start working with people. You know how to coexist with people who don't look like you. You know how to be the only Black person in the room. You know how to conduct yourself in certain ways. So life at a PWI, like I said, it's not all good, it's not all bad. But that is my little story about life at a predominantly white institution. Again, I attend Missouri Western State University, which is in St. Joseph, Missouri, about 5 hours from where I live. So make sure y'all comment, subscribe, like this video. Let me know what kind of content y'all want to see. Drop that in the comments as well. I've been doing like a few little polls or whatever, and people have told me some things that they want to see. So I'm going to try to stick to my schedule, being posting a video every Monday. Mondays are going to be my days that I post. So like I said, like this video, subscribe to my channel, drop down some comments, put some positivity, let me know what you like, what you didn't like, and what you want to see from me. So that's all, and I will see y'all next Monday.